Hello everyone, now let us see how to search a ICD 10cm code. In the current session, we will be discussing a code from diabetes mellitus with CHARCOT'S joint. Diabetes mellitus is an important point or important topic both from the exam point of view and interview based questions. So we will be conducting series of videos on the various ICDs that are related with diabetes mellitus. So in the first video, we will be discussing the ICD code for diabetes mellitus with CHARCOT'S joint. Now let us see the question. Patient presents with CHARCOT'S joint. Patient comes to a podiatrist with CHARCOT'S joint. Here the physician did not mention in the first sentence with the diabetes mellitus. But in the past medical history, if you refer the medical record, it is indicated that patient is both hypertensive and diabetic because past medical history indicates hypertension and diabetes mellitus. And there is a cause and effect relationship between diabetes mellitus and CHARCOT'S joint. That point must be taken into consideration. Now coming to the codes. What is the correct ICD codes and how many codes should we quote? Before going into the ICD, let us briefly discuss about CHARCOT'S joint. It is also called as neuropathic orthopathy or neuropathic osteoarthropathy. Charcot's joint is also called as neuropathic arthropathy or neuropathic osteoarthropathy. And it is first described by Jean-Martin Charcot, and it refers to a progressive degeneration of a weight-bearing joint. For example, foot. Foot is a weight-bearing joint. A process marked by bone destruction, bone resorption, and eventual deformity due to the loss of sensation. The onset is usually insidious. Insidious means it usually proceeds in a gradual, subtle way, but it has very harmful effects. If this pathological process continues unchecked, it can result in joint deformity, ulceration and or superinfection, loss of function, and in the worst case scenario, amputation and sometimes death also. So early identification of the joint changes is the best way to limit the morbidity. And whenever we search a ICD code, the important point to remember is you need to be thorough with the conventions. With and due to is one such convention. Whenever with is associated under any condition, you have to assume that the conditions that are listed under with are a manifestation of the above condition. That is, the Charcot's joint is a manifestation of diabetes mellitus. Manifestation is nothing but underlying disease causes this particular condition. So the reason for Charcot's joint is diabetes mellitus. So under diabetes mellitus, in our question, the physician did not mention which type. So whenever the type is not mentioned, for simply diabetes mellitus, diabetic or sugar, the code is E11.9. Under it, you can find with, under it, Charcot's joint. So whenever diabetes mellitus, the code for diabetes mellitus with the Charcot's joint is E11.610. And there is only one code. You need not code two codes. This is a combination code and only one code is sufficient. So the correct answer for diabetes mellitus with Charcot's joint is E11.610. Second important point is whenever we code an ICD, it is better to cross check once in the tabular list. Previously we have seen the alphabetic index. Under alphabetic index you can find E11.610 is the correct code. Again you have to cross check it in the tabular list. Under tabular list you can find E11.6. It indicates type 2 diabetes mellitus with other specified complications. Under it you can find E11.61. which indicates type 2 diabetes mellitus with diabetic orthopathy. And this code, here you can see sixth character is mentioned. That indicates that this particular code is incomplete and the sixth character is necessary to complete the above code. And this is the complete code. E11.610 is the complete code for type 2 diabetes mellitus with diabetic neuropathic orthopathy or type 2 diabetes mellitus with Charcot's joint. So the correct code is E11.610. Now let us see the various codes for different types of diabetes mellitus with Charcot joints. One common thing which you can observe here is the last three digits are same. So 610 indicates Charcot's joint, diabetes mellitus with Charcot's joint. The first three characters indicate the specified type of diabetes. For type 2 or diabetes NOS, NOS means not otherwise specified or simply unspecified. For diabetes unspecified or type 2 diabetes mellitus with Charcot's joint, the code is E11.610. And for drug or chemical induced diabetes with Charcot's joint, the code is E09.610. And for diabetes due to underlying condition with Charcot's joint, the code is E08.610. And for secondary diabetes mellitus or diabetes specified type, NEC. NEC is nothing but not elsewhere classifiable, or in other terms, other specified. With Charcot's joint, the code is E13.610. And for type 1 diabetes mellitus with Charcot's joint, the code is E10.610. So 610 indicates with the Charcot's joint, diabetes mellitus with Charcot's joint. E11 indicates type 2, E10 indicates type 1, E13 indicates secondary diabetes, E8 indicates diabetes due to underlying condition, and E09 indicates drug or chemical induced diabetes with Charcot's joint. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for further videos on medical coding and CPC training.